I saw a great example of what kind of resonance, what is what, and what resonance is, and how it plays out in our lives. I was watching somebody perform some music, and there were two different people. One that I've known and followed for many years and always resonated with. And then I got hurt and injured, and I started not resonating with him so much. And, well, I still do now, but I had a time where I didn't right after. Then there was this other person that I had seen an interview with, and he was very, very nitty-gritty and setbacky with how things were pronounced, and that was related, that kind of behavior was related to my trauma experience that I had that had changed my point of resonance and my point of frequency, my point of attraction, my frequency. And I saw them next to each other and how it ended when they were done playing. And it made so much sense to me exactly what was going on. Because at the end, when they were playing the last song, the person that I used to resonate with ended in connection. There were like people connecting with him, and he was like connecting with them and talking and smiling and laughing, and as he was finishing his last song. And the other person sort of just like got sidetracked, or like nobody was talking to him, and he felt abandoned by the person that went to talk to the others. It was clearly that was, well, at least in my perspective, it was clear, and I could feel him being a little bit insecure. So, and me connecting that to what I've seen in interviews with him. Otherwise, it's very much about this like separate. No, it's not like that. It's like this. Instead of embracing, yeah, you say it that way, we keep connection, I don't correct you. I just, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because correction can be a good thing, but it's very much this, there's two different, there's separation, where in the other there's connection. And it makes me think about how we connect, how we end things. If we end in connection or in separation, this gives two completely different lives if it's a continuous way of being in life. These two people actually don't live that much different lives, I guess, but they could. But like at the surface, they live the same kind of results, the same kind of life. But they could have different experiences. I would take my guess and say they do have different experiences personally with their relationships. However, that's not my point with this, but my point is just that if you want to get to know yourself better, get to know how it always ends for you. Like when you create something, when you have had enough of something, you're at a party, or you're ending, I don't know, you're cooking, whatever. Right? It's how does it end? Does it end with you isolating others, or separating from others, or feeling abandoned, or feeling outside of what is connected? Or does it feel like you can step in and become a part of the connection? And if you do that, does it feel like, if you're actually becoming a part of the connection at the end, does it feel like it's at the cost of yourself, at the cost of your identity? Or so you're like, oh, I better go out here to actually feel myself? Or do you feel like, no, I can be in the mix while still having my identity and my mental ability to keep a healthy separation, which is I'm me, you're you, they're other, you are you, and that's very much like the age of Aquarius. We're going, like, this is a new way of living, that we're all going to master this, becoming our own selves within the crowd. And that, to me, that is what happiness is in life, because there's no greater joy than having yourself fully, and then really experiencing there also being others who have themselves fully. It's a great place to live from. And I've known this, like this man I'm talking about being outside, I've lived that life for a lot of my life. Also had losing myself within the mix, and also had the experience of being so fortunate to have the individual experience within the mix. And yeah, I guess that's why I might notice this, how it's playing out in these people. But I just felt like it was a great example for everybody to get, for you to get a sense of awareness on how you end things and where you are when it ends. And if you can stay in while you end things, or if you like have it in your body to be like, hey, I'm done, whoop, so I like withdraw from what you've done, or do you stay in contact with what you've done? I encourage you to stay in connection and contact with what you've done. And I also encourage you to be able to allow yourself to move on from it. Not necessarily in the sense of abandoning it, but just to accept that it has its life of its own life, a life of its own, and you can move on to the next thing when you feel you are completely done making it, done staying with it, done admiring it yourself, and let it nourish yourself. And then you can move on and feel free to move on to create more and new things.